talking about station wagons, on the market there are quite a number of station wagons options you can choose from. But at least from the JDM market, there's a few that stand out. People have talked about the Toyota Wish and such, leave alone the European models that come from Japan. On the set today, we want to talk about a special car in that category, and this is the Subaru Outback, the BS series, BS9 to be particular. This is the car we have on set. So welcome on board Assonation Auto World here. We will start with the outside, look at this car, how it was beautifully designed, what features it has on the exterior as we go around, and then we'll get to the interior and then check out the engine. So first of all, if we look at the front here, we have bi-xenon headlights there. We also have corner lights there that would flash to that side when you're turning. We have this nicely done bumper with these headlight washers, so when it's raining or muddy or foggy, when you switch on the windshield washer fluid, the headlight washers will also pop up and then do their thing here. Coming down here, we have these fog lamps that came as an extra option. They're not standard. So if we come around here, we have, yes, the famous Subaru logo there, the stars, and then the grille here, nothing really going on, but this one here had the active grille. If you can just check here, this is a highly spec model that we will get to it when we talk about the engine. So this grille will shut when the car doesn't need cooling, and then we'll open up the flaps in here when the car needs cooling. So down here we also have some design going on the bumper. There's no splitter, but things are quite normal. Down there we also have fog light over there. So as we can look at this, something happened here. For the Kenyans, you know what happens when you park this car somewhere that is not attended to. Yeah, down on this line, everything also looks just like the other side. On the wheels here, we have 17-inch, 18-inch, and 19. But 17 are the standard for this car. This has the mid-spec, the 18 alloy with a touch of class, the Brembo caliper, as well as brake discs and pads, so the Brembo for that. Coming to this side again, we look at the side mirrors. So I think with these side mirrors, you notice on the previous cars, older models, not just Subaru, but most manufacturers, these wing mirrors used to be at this position here. So come to things like aerodynamics and all that, so there was a lot of resistance that the mirrors would bring about when they're positioned here, as well as wind noise just coming into the cabin. So the manufacturers had to move the mirror from this part to this part just to enhance the airflow, the air that will flow through this area here, to just smoothen out the ride and iron out the noises. So on the doors here, yeah, they open nice and wide. You can see we have this skirt here that will prevent mud from getting under the door here, that would make your clothes, your trousers dirty. Something to check here, as we spoke about the specs of this car, a Subaru with a Harman Kardon sound system fitted on it. Yeah, so we will come to the back here. Yeah, nothing really different or specific. So the wheel and the tires side, we can talk about this roof rack here. So we have these roof rails here that came as standard to this car. This car had the optional extras fitted to it. So we have this roof rail that you can hook up roof racks and then load your luggage over there. Coming down to the back, we have standard LED tail lights for parking and brake lights, and then we still had halogen indicators, but still LED reverse light. So come to this part here, this is the Subaru logo, and then symmetrical all-wheel drive. So for those who know a thing or two about Subaru, symmetrical all-wheel drive is one of the most powerful and reliable four-wheel drives or all-wheel drive systems that you can find on the car market as at now. So same thing. Normally what happens is we have a fog light here, one rear fog light, that is mostly on the right hand side of the car when you have it as a right hand drive. So the job of that, some of you might have noticed that we have only one reverse light on some cars and then one other red light here, which is the rear fog light. So what happens is it was a rule, it was a mandate that all cars need to have a rear fog light, either at the center of the back or somewhere at the extreme right. So manufacturers opted to put one on either side because one, it is cheap just to manufacture one, and then two, it is easier to move it depending on the market, whether left hand or right hand. So it's just easier to swap it from left to right. And that is basically how the exterior is. So we will move into the interior of the Subaru and check out a few options that it packs. Inside the Subaru here, this is the Outback BS9, as I said earlier, the 2015 model. So inside the Subaru here, this is the Outback BS9 2015 model. So this was the top spec model for that range. So a few optional extras we have, just like we have proper leather interior, and these seats also are nice and comfortable. If we can look at the door here, we have some wood trims here, which is real wood, at least for this car. Your control panel, master control for window and mirrors. You also have it leather padded. The door card as well. Only this lower part is plastic. We also have a Harman Kardon sound system with 8 speakers in here. So this car packs some cruise control features. Have cruise control here, how to reset, increase speed or decrease speed, and cancelling it. We also have your controls for the stereo and the sound system, and the voice command, activated voice command by this buttons for your telephone and such. And then we have your menu options for the digital screen. So if you look here, we have a nicely designed minimalistic clock dashboard. So we have this side here, we have your clock, your speedo, and then we have your fuel gauge. At the center here, we have some digital screen for a few configurations you can do, and then we have your rev counter on the left side. So coming to center console here, we have a touch screen here. Just put it on. Yes, we have a touch screen here, 8-inch touch screen that is standard with a lot of things in, but basically just vehicle configuration and the stereo. So we have climate condition here with a dual zone, so we have that for the passenger. And this, we also have these two buttons here for the heated seats. So this car has heated seats on the front, and then the dashboard here is also very well, nicely designed and done, finished in leather. We have 3 speakers here. We have one at the center, one at this other end, and then one on the other end. Come down here to the glove box. It's also nicely done, wood finish here, and a touch of sort of metallic touch here, although it's just plastic. And then we have it nice and big for your Subaru Outback owner's manual and information for other things. Yeah, so at the center here we have some storage space here that you can put your wallet, your phone, and some few bits. You just open it that way. And then here we have a 6-speed automatic. Some of these Subarus are now coming with a CVT, but this one is fitted with a 6-speed automatic from Subaru. Down here we have hill descent control, as well as traction control and terrain mode. And then we have an electronic parking brake on this car. This is the switch to activate and deactivate the electronic parking brakes. Most of you guys are just used to the mechanical manual handbrake. 2 cup holders here for the passengers, the driver and the passenger at the back. We have this cabby space here for more storage. You can use this little thing here to split the space over here if you want to. So the seats here are electric as well. You can move them electronically back and forth, as well as the backrest like so, but the headrests are still just manually done like so. Yeah, so this car is also fitted with sunroof that comes open. It actually works, so you use this button to open it and close it. So very well spec'd, very nicely done, beautifully designed. this spec. So as we said, this car is fitted with a lot of optional extras that are found in its class and such on. We'll quickly shift to the back. So at the back here, these seats are also nice and comfortable, although this back part looks more of a bench. So typically seating configuration for 2, but if 3 people are sitting abreast here, the space is also good. We have this transmission tunnel here that comes up, but not really that big, so the person sitting in the middle will have their legs spread apart, eating into space to the people on the ends. But it's quite nice. That seat was in my driving position, which is a bit further back, but then you can see the amount of legroom we still have here, as well as the amount of headroom that we have inside this car. So these seats are also leather padded as well, like the front. We have some storage covers here that are in leather as well. We have the dual zone climate vents at the back here as well. So on this seat here, we also have an armrest here that has 2 cup holders for the passengers at the back as well. So you can choose to use it as an armrest and put a cup of coffee or a bottle of your favorite drink here, or if you're sitting 3 at the back, you can just choose to put it away and have the third person sitting here. So we will quickly jump to the boot and look at what space we have in the boot. Here we can look at the Subaru's boot. So this is the top spec in terms of the kits and the range. So the boot here is electronic. It opens by itself. One thing with these electronic boots is they are too slow to open rather than just flick it up manually. So we have this puzzle shelf here to cover all your luggage, but you can just undo it and let it go to the back. It has this aluminium framework that makes it look a bit standing out. Nicely done. So in the boot here, this car is just set up for 5 passengers in the main cabin. The boot here is quite big, but not as big as other rivals, let's say the Audi A6 in this class or the Mercedes A-Class, but yes, quite sizable. You can fit in all your luggage for your daily driving. So under this cover here, we have a full-size spare wheel with a jack and a few amenities, jack, wheel spanner, and probably tire repair kit. But that is for the cars that can come with run flat tires. But this has a proper spare wheel, although with a steel rim and not alloy, which is a bit of a shame for these cars. So the back seats can be lowered down by use of this lever here. You can just do like so, and then the seats will fall down, as well as this other side you do like so, and then the seats will fall down. The only shame is you have to go around to bring them back again. They can't come back on their own. So by a touch of that button, the boot will lock itself. Under the bonnet of this Subaru, look at this here, how clean it is. This car is still very good. It's still in good condition, in good nick. So under here we have a not so common Subaru flat 6 engine. So this car packs the famous Subaru 3.6 liter naturally aspirated petrol engine. So quite a lot of power. Outback comes in various engines. We have the 2 liter flat 4, we have the 2.5 flat 4, and then we have this top of the range 3.6 flat 6. So this has around 250 brake horsepower or thereabout. So this has this engine. So a few things known to this car, especially for what it has and how it has been reported in other forums as well as in Japan. So a few issues. Number one, these Subaru Outback engines used to burn a lot of oil or lose a lot of oil because gasket leaks on the engine components, as well as just normal leakages on the engine. Then we had overheating issues. So Subarus have been known for some time for overheating issues in terms of failing cooling system parts, like hose pipes leaking, coolant leaking, and then poorly designed or thermostat going bad, which would lead you to overheating issues that will take you to head gasket, and then if you're not careful, the heads would warp and then being a flat 4 or flat 6, then you have 2-cylinder heads to take care of if at all they up. The other issues with the Subaru is some vibration has been noted and some vibration has been reported on heavy acceleration. So on heavy acceleration, something to do with the Subaru gearboxes, the CVT and the automatic transmissions. So the failing component there was reported to be the torque converter. So the torque converter used to fail in terms of the clutch, as well as just its main composition, and then the vibrations from the torque converter resulting from slippage would cause vibration or just juddering on heavy acceleration on these cars. Other than that, not really big issues with the Subaru. It has been a fan favorite for the young and upcoming generation of motoring enthusiasts and that. So that is what you can find in the Subaru. Those are some of the main issues that the Subaru Outback would bring, but it has been voted as one of the safest cars in its class, and one of the most reliable as well in its class. The diesel version of this car has been the most outstanding in this class for a long time, especially in Europe and American markets. So we will take it for a quick spin and then we can wrap up the conversation around the Subaru. So this is the Outback, top of the range, with all the amenities. Not the STI, so it's not set up for handling, not set up for race tracks, but for being a family car, driving comfortably like a family car. So first of all, the suspension is set up to be a bit soft. There is quite some body roll on it. You will feel road imperfections and things like bumps. So yeah, so generally it's not a sport car, but it drives well. It's a bit jacked up, sort of a crossover thing, but not really an SUV. So it has some good ground clearance that can take you for some off-roading activities. Mind you, as we said, the Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive is one of the most powerful all-wheel drive or most dependable, well-performing all-wheel drive systems in the car industry. So if you took this car off-road, there is not much that can defeat this car. It might perform better than some of the SUVs that we tend to know that have all-wheel drive system. So not really to be a hater, but the Subaru symmetric all-wheel drive would outperform the BMW X-Drive and such things on the X6 and X5. Yeah, so the ride here is a bit smooth. There's not a lot of road noise coming through. If you feeling some of the noises, I have the sunroof open just to enjoy the view and some wind inside the cabin. So the clock here illuminates nicely in blue. Blue is mostly the Subaru color. For those who are fans of STIs, Imprezas, you may notice that most of them come in blue. And then the center console here illuminates in red. So you have a nice view ahead. The windshield is also wide enough so that you can have a view. We have this little window here that just eliminates any sort of blind spot that would come from the A-pillar that are thick on other models or other cars from here. So we have a nice view. So we have some good power to pull through. This car is supposed to do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in under 7 seconds, which I'm pretty sure it can do that, only that we are not going to launch it today here because it's not our business for the review. But yes, it's quite powerful. Another thing that we would probably mention for the Outback owners or Outback lovers, the frame here, the A-pillar on this car, something to do with the windshield. Most of the Subaru owners have reported it to be having original windshield to be weak, so sometimes it would crack. If you hit a pothole, the windscreen would crack, or you park a car under sunlight, You park it not under a shed, and then you come and find the windshield is cracked from a particular spot, or just a line all through top to bottom. Things to do with this car: make sure you are on top of your oil changes. Make sure you're also on top of your gearbox service in terms of gearbox filter, gearbox oil, and all that. Gearbox, take care of it after every 50,000 kilometers would be fair enough, but Subaru recommend anything from 80,000 kilometers. For engine service, you can do the fully synthetic engine oil, and then also do it after every 5,000 to 10,000 kilometers. Change your spark plugs every 10 to 20,000 kilometers. You will have your car running smooth, running nicely. You would have problems, but mostly major problems, just engine leaks, cooling system issues that you can sort. As soon as you notice you're losing coolant from the expansion tank, you need to find out whether you have a coolant leak. You also need to find out whether your water pump is failing or such, and then replace them. The head gaskets, no particular issues unless your car has been overheating over and over. Body panels are nicely done and strong. They do not they are not a weak point unless somebody hits you, or you hit something or somebody. That's when you'll have problems with the body panels. But generally, Subarus, especially for these bigger family cars, are comfortable, are powerful, and are reliable cars to move in with, are reliable cars to own, as opposed to the other cars. We don't want to talk about the Forester Nation or the WRX STI Nation. We'll save that for another day. Yeah, so if you're still new to the channel and you've made it this far, please make sure to subscribe. Consider subscribing. Click on the bell icon to make sure that you are notified anytime we're doing a video. Thank you. And that is how a Subaru Outback is, what it has, and the features and all that. So we're stuck in some traffic jam here. We will wrap it at that. Thank you very much.